you still have a live weapon in your hand. This is where shit can get a little tricky.
The team obtained this video showing an accidental shooting at a shooting range in Geauga County Wednesday evening around 6:30.
Oh my god.
That is an instance of somebody handling it very poorly. Let's see that again.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the worst internet gun fails number 4, the Darwin Awards by Brandon Herrera. Yes guys, a lot of recommendations to continue this series and man, I'm game for it. This series has been fantastic. I've been really enjoying it, and big thank you to everyone who's been following along. Of course, if you guys enjoy, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe for more content from me. Of course, leave your recommendations down in the comments below and let me know in the comments if you guys want me to continue this series. If you have any other recommendations, I am more than open to recommendations, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, a series that doesn't really need much introduction. Last time we did see some fatalities, so I wonder if we're going to see any again today. Yeah, without any further delay, let's get right into it. Caption's already on. We just left a like there, full screen. Without any further delay, let's get it, guys. Worst internet gun fails.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're not supposed to do that. What is up, you sexy YouTube
Guess we'll see what it
lovers?
is.
It is in fact time to do another episode of the Darwin Awards. Now, as we said before on the channel, guns are awesome. Idiots are not. When those two things come together, some not cool stuff happens, and sometimes that means somebody wins a Darwin Award. Darwin Award meaning you have been removed from the gene pool. Now, the Darwin Awards is usually an opportunity for us to talk about gun safety and where certain people went wrong with things. Today we got some cool stuff on. I've got some stuff on catastrophic malfunctions. Oh, super cool. Can't wait to get into it. But first we have a couple of clips.
Oops, that is really cool. I was just curious, right? Because he does straight up have just like, that is an RPG 7, I think, up there on his wall. That's got to be inert, right? Like, as an American, right? You obviously, I don't think you could just own one of those, right? I'm sure, like, it's got to be inert. It's got to be disabled to some degree. I'm sure it's just like a replica piece, right? Like the firing pin is probably removed, whatever have you. You certainly cannot just like own a fucking functional RPG. That's not allowed, right? Like, listen, I know you guys are a lot more lenient, but you're not that lenient. Come on now. I don't think. Somebody let me know the specifics on that. I'm assuming just based on like how that looks. It looks very shiny, looks very new, looks very show PC. Usually you don't see RPG 7s or RPGs in general in decent quality, you know what I'm saying? So I'm guessing that's probably just an inert showpiece. Somebody let me know.
Gun safety and where certain people went wrong with things. Today we got some cool stuff on. I've got some stuff on catastrophic malfunctions. Super cool. Can't wait to get into it. But first we have a couple of clips that are probably more in line with what you would come to expect from a video like this one. So let's dive right in. All right, so this first video we have on the lineup.
I've seen this one.
Soldier gets hat shot off.
I've seen this one. This is a classic.
Training for some ceremonial thing, clearly. Nice little Polish AK underfolders, too.
Fuck.
What a lad, though. Continuing like nothing just fucking
straight
happened.
up.
See, they got a slow-mo here.
Jesus Christ. Like, again, balls of steel. Like, look at that guy. He's like, fuck. Look at his face, dude. He's like, because like, I would have turned around and fucking rifle butted that cunt in the face. I'm not even trying to be any type of way, bro. I would have fucking lost my shit right there. Like, straight up. I know you're in for age, whatever. But like, how do you, I don't know how you stay that calm. You know what I mean? I would have fucking like, you know what I mean? Like, the shit would have been on with that trooper in the mess after this. Shit would have been on. And I don't think anyone here would have like fucking said anything otherwise, you know?
Polish people are just fucking built different.
I guess
people
so,
are talking about, oh my god, this guy got so lucky. Like that bullet must have just barely tipped the hat and kept going. I don't think he would have really gotten lucky, because if you look over here, there's not a lot of recoil there. I think these are just blanks, especially if you're doing ceremonial shit. You're not actually just shooting up in the air with, 30 dudes in a field. Typically not a good idea. So the angles of those rifles, I'm thinking there's a pretty good chance that if there were a live round in there, he would have just painted the field with his comrade there. Jesus.
Hard to
Thankfully,
say.
though, it did look
hard to say, and I don't know. These definitely are AKs. I don't see BFAs on them. Now I could be wrong. Maybe AKs don't take BFAs. I've never owned an AK. I don't know, right? But I can't see any BFAs. I see the bayonet, right? But you notice usually you would see that that yellow BFA lug at the end of the gun. If they're firing blanks, maybe they're just firing blanks without them, and that's where you see like that buildup of propellant shot at the end of the gun, blows his hat off, right? That can be very dangerous. You know, metal fragments, buildup of gas. You can kill people like that. You know, even firing a blank without the proper fire attachment. With the proper fire attachment, you can. You know, it can be dangerous, right? You still want to treat it as a firearm. You got very, very lucky. I feel like if that was maybe a couple inches closer to his head, man, he probably would have fucking went face first down. I think.
Like they were blank, so you didn't turn this military parade into a military funeral.
True.
The next couple videos I've got coming up are something you actually can learn something from. Now, most of you experienced shooters know this, and you know exactly how dangerous it can be when somebody doesn't. Brass. Brass, once it's fired, it's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Most rifles kick the brass out and away from the shooter.
That shit sucks.
But handguns can be a little sporadic sometimes. It's not uncommon for
get around down
a
the
new
sleeve
shooter to be shooting, or even an experienced shooter, to be shooting a gun and then have brass go down their neck, or for ladies, you get the picture. It will burn the shit out of you, but it's relatively minor. However, you still have a live weapon in your hand.
Yeah.
This is where shit can get a little tricky.
My buddy, before we get into that, Jesus, before we get into that, yeah, my buddy's got a permanent scarring on his wrists and shit from literally like C6 brass, you know, like when you're on the range, you know, maybe your sleeves aren't fleeced up properly, whatever, Velcro fucking comes loose. Next thing you know, you got a C6 brass down your sleeve and you're fucking, you know, fucking trying to shake it out while you're doing like a running, oh man, why run and shoot? Fucking, that shit sucks, man. Shit sucks. 20-pound gun and you got brass burning you up, man. Oh.
You still have a live weapon in your hand. This is where shit can get a little tricky.
Team obtained this video showing an shooting at a shooting range in Geauga County Wednesday evening around 6:30.
Oh my god.
That is an instance of somebody handling it very poorly. Let's see that again.
The Fox 8i team obtained this video
What's he doing?
showing an accidental shooting at a shooting range in Geauga County Wednesday evening.
Oh, he's leaking.
6:30.
I know he's caught off guard by the hot brass here, but he's making two big critical safety errors because
he's lazing everything.
Yeah, on the trigger, which is
yeah,
how he was able to squeeze off another round. And two, he's, you know, pay attention to what you're pointing at. Never point a gun at another human being. That's, you know, basic gun safety for like a gun range.
Yeah.
Definitely don't point it at yourself. Pro tip. I read more about his injuries. I think he went through one side of his cheek and out the other side.
Jesus.
This dude straight up Tyler Durden'd himself.
Oh my god.
It's a shitty situation. I'm glad
Holy
he's
fuck.
okay, and I hope it's a valuable lesson, and it's a lesson for everybody. Without having.
That's fucked. I haven't seen that one.
Up next, what you know about RPGs. Now, we've talked about RPGs before in the Darwin Awards, but we got another one to look at today.
Is that why there's an RPG on the wall?
Soldier or militiaman of unknown origin to me, demonstrating the safety features on a loaded RPG-7.
Idiot! No, he's not doing that, dude. He's not fucking doing that. Now, in theory, they shouldn't go off, right? But there's always that fucking chance that, you know, the munitions that you're being supplied, you know, maybe faulty production, maybe the pin, I guess, what is it? It's like a pressure plate or something, not a pressure plate, like a pressure pad or something like that, right? And it's not supposed to activate until after the rocket is fired or whatever have you, right? If I recall, I don't know the exact how they function. You know, I'm not a fucking, I've never used an RPG, okay? It's a fucking Eastern weapon. I've never fucking used it. I've never had the opportunity to handle it. I wish, but no. He's just fucking slamming it nose down onto the ground here. That shit's gonna fucking go off, isn't it? Damn.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're not supposed to do that. I mean, clearly you can, because he's doing it. But man, I don't really have that much faith in Russian safety features.
No.
I guess what he's trying to show off here is that there's a safety cap on top of the RPG rockets, that the rocket isn't technically live.
Right, the cap, the safety cap.
Until you remove that cap from it.
Right,
Luckily,
okay.
Nothing bad happened to this gentleman, but, you know, rockets and explosives are something I just don't fuck around with.
No. Well, sometimes.
Yeah. Even still, you best believe if I find rockets for that thing, I'm not going to be doing this shit with it.
There is no time delay.
I could very much see that one being like very much like an Eastern like drill instructor, just fucking here, yeah, have confidence in your weapon, see it's safe. I don't know. I wouldn't fucking be doing that shit. Safety cap. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I have heard of a safety cap on an RPG munition before. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. It's my bad.
Best believe if I find rockets for that thing, I'm not going to be doing this shit with it.
No, fuck no.
There is no time delay on this. It's this. Well, this one's a dummy, but real rockets. There's no time delay. If you were to take the safety cap off and go.
Next up, we got a couple of videos of some catastrophic malfunctions. We're going to go over that, but first, these videos tend to get either struck, demonetized, or both, so it's time to thank our sponsor, first of all, for, making this video happen.
Had a few of his videos be demonetized.
Jake's Mint Chew is a tobacco-free dipping alternative. So if you're one of those guys who loves to dip, but you really don't like the cancer part, you might want to look into Jake's. Now, I never personally got into dipping, which means I never really had to quit, but they've got stuff for people like me, too. Things like their CBD citrus, which basically gives people like us, gun people, all the benefits of things like CBD without all the downside of, well, being FPS Russian. If you'd like to check them out, I've got links down in the description and in the pinned comment. I even got a code for you, because I love you. All right, so now we get down to the fun stuff. Catastrophic malfunctions.
Oh, God.
Now that I say it out loud, not really fun at all, especially for the people involved.
Yeah.
Catastrophic malfunction is when the gun fails, but not a normal failure, like a failure to extract or a failure to cycle. It's when it fails in a way that basically blows up the gun.
Right.
In our previous episodes of the Darwin Awards, we've covered a couple of these, like the famous tainted ammunition detonating the AK.
Right. Classic.
Leveling up the playing field, this first video is for a full auto AR-15.
So I wonder, now again, I think it's going to very much depend maybe on, with catastrophic malfunctions like this, maybe sometimes they can be blamed on the handler of the firearm, but also sometimes shit like this just happens and it's no one's fault, So with these, I think it's important to be a little bit more like lenient, I guess, in this case. Maybe he didn't assemble his firearm properly. Maybe it wasn't cared for clean. I don't know, right? I'm not going to sit here and fucking claim one way or the other. But shit can happen, right? So I'm not going to fucking be blaming necessarily anyone for these malfunctions. Let's see.
A full auto AR-15.
Unless it's like really fucking stupid. Let's see. Last one of the day.
Shit.
That could have been worse. That could have been worse.
A couple ways this could have happened. Could have been the infamous 300 blackout sneaking into a 5.56 AR magazine. It could have been something completely different, but what is for sure is that upper went by.
Yeah.
This guy's extremely lucky.
Could have been a lot worse.
From the hip.
Yeah.
And putting that up to his face, because that might have been a much worse day.
Yeah.
As we can see from the slow-mo here, that AR upper completely just detonates.
Oh, look at that bolt just fucking hanging there, man. Oh,
there it is.
Yeah, that poor EOTech, man. That was a good sight.
Your weapons. That's a joke, Canada. I love you. I don't love your gun laws or your politicians for the most part, but you guys seem pretty cool. So that was an instance of a...
I agree with that, and I'm a Canadian, and from what I will say is, yeah, I mean, I feel like most people don't like, most Americans probably do not enjoy Canadian politicians, and yet your president sponsors the current leader of Canada. You know what I mean? Or did sponsor the current leader of Canada, or endorsed. That's a better word for it. Now, we all know why that is, of course. If you have a fucking 2 brain cells to rub together, you know why that is. But either way, let's keep going.
For the most part, but you guys seem pretty cool. So that was an instance of catastrophic malfunction that did not result in the injury of the shooter. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was lucky. That was a good.
I know you've seen before,
that was good handle.
We're going to come at it from a slightly different angle. This next video is probably now one of the internet's most famous catastrophic malfunctions. It's my buddy Scott with his RN50 detonating on him a couple months ago.
A lot of people have actually told me to check this video out. I have not. I know he made a video on it. I actually have not seen this. So this will be my first time checking it out. I will still check out like the actual video on it. But a lot of people told me to see this. Apparently it's kind of fucked up. That's, yeah. Damn, dude. Just hurts to watch. Fuck, he got lucky, man. He got lucky.
So anybody who's seen Scott's video knows the extent of his injuries, and he's lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
And he's thankful to be alive.
I was gonna say, like,
fractured orbital bone, pierced lung, pierced jugular. The guy, oh man, I'm just happy he's still around. But let's see what we can learn from this particular accident. The sad part is, not a whole lot. You see, I can't actually point out anything that Scott did that was incorrect.
No.
He's following all the safety rules. He's using a weapon that he's fired multiple times before, shooting in a safe manner from a rest, shooting ammunition that he's been shooting all day. So he has no reason to think that this next round is going to be any different. And yet he's still the victim of a catastrophic malfunction. What he is lucky to have had is medical training due to his law enforcement background and his father there on site. Otherwise, he may not have been with us here today. So what...
I will say, very, very lucky, that explosion there. That was crazy to see. And as he says, again, and I said this, a catastrophic malfunction, right? It can sometimes be linked to a reason, a cause, but also, again, sometimes there's just malfunctions in the gun itself. And, you don't know that until the cracks become fucking a little bit more than cracks, you know what I'm saying, in the system, for lack of a better word, right? The second maybe... who knows? Maybe there was a fault in the barrel. Find the last round, find the last round, find the last round. And then this round, just a slight little bit more expansion. Something breaks, something gives way. You don't know, right? No one's fault when that shit happens. No one's fault necessarily. Very lucky to be alive. That shit hit him right in the fucking face. Pierced, I think they said a fractured orbital, pierced neck or something to that degree. Very, very punctured lung, punctured neck, I think is what he said, jugular. Very, very lucky to be alive. Very, very lucky to be alive. A lot of people don't just walk away from that shit. So, yeah, wow.
On site. Otherwise,
I can see why you guys want me to check that video out. I'm still going to. Because damn.
So what really is the teachable moment here? Unfortunately, this is just something that comes with bolt actions or single shots, especially in this case. If something goes terribly wrong, especially on a 50 BMG, a single shot 50 BMG, even if you've done everything right in building that gun, Murphy's Law, something happens, there is nowhere for that energy to go but into the shooter. On a semi-auto, you have an entire receiver and a big-ass spring that is meant to catch the bolt carrier group. It stays in that track. It like the one that we saw of the catastrophic malfunction on the AR-15. The bolt carrier group was still stuck where it would have been had the upper still been there. The receiver caught the majority of the force, where there really isn't anything to catch the force here on these bolt guns. And I'm not saying that single shot weapons are necessarily bad either. I'm saying this is just something that you got to keep in mind. So even though you could be like Scott here and do literally everything right, shit still happens. The real thing to keep in mind is just be ready for the shit, because the shit is coming. That didn't come out right. This next video actually deals with kind of the same premise.
I know what he means.
But this time not
I
a
get you.
50 BMG, but instead a 7.62x54R Mosin Nagant.
In this video, you see him struggle.
This is gonna be. I was gonna say something, I can't say it, for reasons, but this is gonna hurt my soul to watch.
But instead a 7.62x54R Mosin Nagant.
In this video, you see him struggling with a stiff action. Then the unexpected happened.
Check the chamber, make sure the headspace and timing was correct and nothing was messed up. Put the 6th round in, lined up my shot, pulled the trigger, action exploded.
Even though we have a much smaller caliber, that still looks pretty serious. I think the backstory on this one is this guy was actually a gunsmith, which is why he had the tools to, check, headspace and gauges and everything like that to make sure that it wasn't actually the rifle's fault. As far as the sticky action goes, that's kind of just a lot of Mosins.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it does.
It is.
Like a bit of shrapnel there. You see, it looks like its stock came apart. That's fucking wild.
That is fucking wild.
A lot of shrapnel from where it went straight up and it went outwards. Caught some in my face, obviously.
I love the action figure
cheek
therapy
was swelled
t-shirt.
up pretty good. I just got up. Luckily, I was wearing my safety gear.
Another fine example of why iPro is important.
Yes.
Having some form of iPro is probably the reason why both this gentleman here and Scott can still see today. That's another prime example. Mosins they're not as bad because they do have, the charging handle there, and they've got a little bit more of a track to the bolt versus just a single shot like the RN50. It has a little bit more that captures the bolt if there was a catastrophic malfunction, but it's still not awesome when it happens. Now, he did also mention that he was shooting his own reloads, which definitely could have been the problem. Not saying definitively that it was. I have no idea this gentleman's level.
Overcharged ammunition, potentially.
That's a pretty big variable. Or it could have just been another example of Murphy's Law. But at least it was 7.62x54R and not something bigger like 50 BMG, because when that happens on a bolt gun, it's, like said, never good. And the next gentleman learned that the hard way. This video I'm about to show you has actually been circulating around the internet for a couple years now and was the go-to example for what happens when a 50 BMG goes sideways. Already, you know it's going to be a fucking crazy video.
I haven't seen this video. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, as he mentions, yeah. Classic, you know it's going to be fucking insane when you see live, especially like these older fucking like 360p, fucking 480p, like 144p fucking quality videos. Oh, you know it's some shit taken back in the day. I haven't seen this video. I don't know. This looks like a shooting range, shooting 50 cal. Catastrophic malfunction, I'm assuming. Let's see what happens.
On the top left. I think it's his first round out of this new gun.
New gun? First round? I'm going to spare you the rest of the audio. You can find this on YouTube if you so desire. So the backstory here is this gentleman was out at the range shooting his new bolt-action 50 BMG from, I think, Vulcan Arms. Notoriously shit rifles. And really?
This guy, unfortunately, learned the hard way as to why. Thankfully, this gentleman did live, although he had to immediately be rushed to the hospital. So what apparently happened here was the bolt, after it, detonated and freed itself, free willy at the locking lugs, went directly into the shooter's neck, which is a big fucking problem. Again, like said, when bolt guns and single shots fail, it's not really good, especially when you're dealing with a huge caliber like that. That's why, and something that I can attest to as far as designing the AK-50, you have to be very careful about the amount of lug contact that you have, the materials that you're using, the hardness spec, the heat treat, everything. It all has to work together or else you are shooting a bomb. Thankfully, like I said, the AK-50 is semi-auto, so there's an entire receiver there, recoil spring and everything that is meant to slow down and catch that before it gets to where the shooter is. So
right.
The semi-autos, like, I guess the
a lot of you guys have told me to go check out like his AK-50 video as well. He makes an AK chambered in 50 cal, which is fucking sick. Definitely need to check out that video as well, because damn, got a lot of recommendations for that.
Before it gets to where the shooter.
Let me know if you guys want me to see that next.
Semi-autos, like, I guess the up-and-coming AK-50, the Serbu BFG-50A, the Barrett M82, and M107, those are all a lot safer just by being a semi-auto, but that round still is no fucking joke. I guess I'm all that up with the catastrophic malfunctions. I am not railing against bolt guns or single-shot guns. I own a couple. What I am saying is you've got to keep this stuff in mind, which means you have to have a lot of faith in both the manufacturer of the rifle that you're shooting and the ammunition and where you got it from. Otherwise, you might end up being the accidental recipient of a Darwin Award. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was at least a little educational for you. If videos like this can stop at least one person out there from taking that very uncool trip to the hospital or worse, then I consider this all worth it.
Right.
Anyhow, thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. Remember, if you're not seeing 2 videos from us every week, go ahead and check the channel and make sure that you're not missing our uploads. A lot of you guys saying you're not getting notifications, so not to worry. We normally upload either like Monday, Tuesday, or like Thursday, Friday. Got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipes for you that I think you guys are gonna like. Anyways, that's all we got for today, and as always, I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Amazing. Sure, he's gonna have a little blurb at the end here. Yeah, as always. Gotta get some end credits in there.
This video I'm about to show you has actually been circulating.
All right then. No, that was awesome. That was good to see. Yeah, good to see some. I guess less Darwin Award like less Darwin awardee this video, but still very good to see nonetheless. Had some Darwin Award, some traditional Darwin Award style videos in there, but very good to see like kind of the catastrophic failure of certain firearms, right? Because again, that that really can't be linked to anything. I wouldn't call that a Darwin Award, to be honest with you, because it's not like, oh, you did something wrong necessarily and it led to you getting injured or fucking, you know what I mean? Like, that shit can just happen, unfortunately. Now, yes, there are, of course, reasons, and you can, of course, link certain things to a catastrophic failure, but I don't think you can entirely blame, unless it's like complete gross negligence. But if it's the correct round, it's the correct rifle, you try to fire it, it happens, I don't really think you as a shooter can be blamed for that. If your gun's in good condition, the ammo, it's the correct caliber, what's the issue? Like, you know what I mean? And these things I feel like are exceedingly rare, like bolt guns. They don't fail very often, you know what I mean, that I hear of. But again, it's the case of when they do. And maybe I'm wrong there. I think he said, what was it, Vulcan arms? Something like that for that 50 BMG at the end there. I've never heard of that manufacturer, and 50 BMG actually used to be legal in Canada, I think up until 2021. I know they banned it when I was deployed. Yeah, so it actually used to be legal recently, but I don't have a foundational knowledge, I guess, on 50 BMG. It's a 50 BMG rifle is not something I would ever buy unless I had like some like spending money. You know what I mean? It was never a caliber that I had any like look for. Typically when I was looking at firearms and the like, I was looking for hunting purposes, right, more than anything else, for shooter sporterized purposes, that type of thing, right? Not to again, a 50 BMG, it's it's definitely cool to have, and I can definitely see as an American why you want to own one. Absolutely, I respect that 100%. But practicality wise, right, unless you're fucking taking down an armored car, you don't need no 50 BMG. Okay, like straight up 762 by 51, 762 by 54 will do fucking everything you need to do. I promise, all right? But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe for more content from me. Of course, leave recommendations down in the comments below. I had a lot of fun with this video, as always. Love checking out these worst internet gun fails, the Darwin Award videos. Yeah, great content by Brandon here. So yeah, if you guys want to see it continue, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and come on down, join the Discord, guys. Don't usually plug that very often. Come join our Discord. And without any further delay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.